Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Tasmania Police has been left bitterly disappointed with more than 1,000 drivers caught speeding on our roads this holiday season. It's a concerning statistic that's left officers pleading with motorists to drive safely and think about the lives of others before getting behind the wheel.
It's a simple message from our first responders.
Pay attention to the road and what's going on around you, because it's in a matter of an instance, everything can change forever. 3
18-year-olds, a 30-year-old and a 69-year-old, all losing their lives after an horrific holiday season on Tasmanian roads.
Any fatality is one too many, but to have 5 during the festive season is certainly devastating to those families and the loved ones involved, and very concerning to police.
The annual holiday police blitz, Operation Crossroads, finished last night. Over the last 12 days, police conducted almost 31,000 random breath tests and charged 88 motorists with drink driving and 97 with drug driving.
It's just that small percentage who feel that they've got to put themselves at risk, the risk of their passengers, and indeed the risk of other law-abiding road users.
Police have also issued more than 1,000 speeding tickets, as well as around 200 infringements for inattentive driving or mobile phone use. Now they're already looking at how to make our roads safer this time next year.
We'll reflect on our strategies and our approach to next year's Crossroads and look at more contemporary approaches, look where we can improve in sending that message out to the community.
And the search continues today for a driver who fatally struck a pedestrian on the Midland Highway at Brighton around 3:20 yesterday morning. Police urging anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
A 66-year-old man has died after being pulled from the water in the state's north on New Year's Day. Emergency crews were called to Hawley Beach shortly after 3 p.m. and tried to resuscitate him. Police are investigating the incident but don't believe it's suspicious. A report is being prepared for the coroner. Fire crews are preparing for what's shaping up to be a busy and very hot weekend ahead. With temperatures predicted to reach well above 30 degrees, Tasmanians are being warned to act responsibly to avoid unnecessary risk.
Firefighters responding to a grass fire at Cambridge today. An example of just how fast flames can move on a hot and windy day.
We'll be taking an approach of hitting fires hard and fast, so our aerial assets, which are now all in play here in Tasmania, will be on the front line of firefighting.
Severe fire weather is expected for the next few days as temperatures hit the mid-30s.
It's probably a late start to the season for Tasmania, and certainly what's predicted coming on Friday will be the worst we've seen to date.
A bushfire currently burning in the southwest has already torn through 2,500 hectares of land. At least 14 bushwalkers were helicoptered out of the region as a precaution.
Any fire that's currently in the landscape we anticipate will grow in dimensions over the next coming days.
The Park Service already planning to close some campgrounds and tracks to keep the public safe.
We have fire restrictions on the east coast and along the north coast at the moment, so on Friday those restrictions will be extended statewide, so all reserves in Tasmania will have campfire restrictions.
It's back to being conscious of where you are and what you're doing and making sure that you are aware that we'll have fire in the landscape.
Police have also determined a Christmas Eve bushfire on Burnie Island was deliberately lit, asking anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Michelle Wisby, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's fruit growers are patiently waiting for the fruit fly exclusion zone to be lifted in just a week's time. It's been a tough year for producers, but there's hope on the horizon with good seasonal weather and strong demand.
Brett Rosendale's farm has seen it all. Floods in 2016, blueberry rust and then the impacts of the fruit fly exclusion zone. It's all taken a toll on both Brett and his wife.
To see good quality food thrown away was really difficult, and it still is. Like the ongoing effect of it still affects both of us greatly.
Their property was removed from the zone last year, but the crisis had already taken a bite out of their income.
We put in a claim for $127,000, which was our losses, and we was compensated 81. Of that, we have to give back 10% GST, which I don't really understand because fresh food's not meant to have GST on it.
It's been a mixed year for berry growers. While Brett expects to be down on the average harvest to 10 tonnes of mostly raspberries, it's a different story for big producers outside the control zone and unaffected by fruit fly.
Look, we'll probably do about 750 tonnes of strawberries and 90 tonnes of blackberries and about 180 tonnes of raspberries this season.
Good weather and strong demand has seen Tasmanian berries double its production. Around 200 workers have been busy harvesting the fruit across the Elizabethtown and Exton farms. Fruit Growers Tasmania is also upbeat as the 9th of January looms for the zone to be lifted.
Season's going extremely well. In the cherry context, everything's going really well in terms of quality of product. Thankfully, we've gone past the little bit of wet weather, good sunny weather, nice temperature, and leading to quality fruit. Berry industry's going extraordinarily well.
Meanwhile, Brett has his advice for those who ever face struggles like his.
Just stick with it as best you can, and just do what you can to get through it, and if at all possible, just keep going.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Revellers at this year's Falls Festival at Marion Bay have been praised by Tasmania Police for their good behaviour. Around 13,000 music lovers attended the 3-day festival, which finished yesterday. Police had a strong presence, conducting breath tests and patrols with sniffer dogs, but said there were no arrests or major incidents. There was, however, a serious drug alert issued on day 2, warning everyone to stay away from an orange pill that was being circulated. It's not yet known how many people took the drug.
It was a huge night of action at the Burnie Carnival, with only half a second separating Sam Welsford from a 4th wheel crown in a row. Stuart McSwain sent fans into a frenzy in a dramatic open mile, while a Tasmanian teenager took out the women's gift for the 2nd year in a row.
Amongst an all-star field including 3-time winner Morgan Gaffney and Latrobe gift winner Brooke Jones, the spotlight hadn't been focused on 18-year-old Beck Kovacic. That quickly changed as the Hobart teenager with a 9-metre handicap exploded off the mark, driving through the strong headwind at West Park for an emotional ending. The biggest win of her running career.
I could never expect this to happen. I'm just so emotional and so happy that such hard work is truly starting to pay off.
In a great show of respect, last year's winner Kiani Allen was the first to embrace the new champion.
Best friends off the track and best friends on the track, but we just push each other to keep going, work harder, and that's the best friendship you could have in athletics.
Stall gift winner Jacob Despard headlined the men's gift. But again, it was a new name on the sprint scene who blitzed the field. Ash Maloney, who ran his first competitive race on grass only a few nights ago, was now king of the carnival. The Queenslander isn't a specialist sprinter either. Decathlons are his game, and he has no plans to change.
Oh God, no. I love the decathlon so much and it's my passion, so going to keep continuing on that.
On the cycling track, Sam Welsford dared to become the Winx of the Burnie Wheel, going for an unprecedented 4th consecutive title. And how close he was. Like a slingshot, the West Australian flung around the course, collecting slower rivals lap by lap, passing all but one, Victorian Jensen Plowright, who held off Welsford by half a second.
I kept looking behind. I heard Sam's name. Looks like he was barrelling towards us.
In the women's wheel, another streak was just beginning. South Australian Maeve Plouffe was in second at the bell, leapfrogging to the front on the final lap to claim her 2nd Burnie wheel in a row.
The wind is brutal, and kudos to all those girls who can hold up their front wheels in that wind, because it can get really dangerous, and just shows how skilled the girls out there really are.
In the 325mm standing block World Championship, Queenslander Mitch Argent narrowly edged out the locals.
Yeah, I was probably lucky enough to just hold on to that one enough and come home with the win.
The biggest roar was saved until the very end. Starting from scratch, popular runner Stuart McSwain put in the fight of his life to hit the front of the open mile. A truly gut-busting effort to an awesome ovation.
They are absolutely airborne, but no one's going as fast as Stuart McSwain.
To Determined to go one better than he had in the Devonport Mile, the King Island product finished in a thrilling 4 minutes and 2 seconds. He described the race as a dogfight, but the big Burnie crowd helped shave off the seconds.
I look back on this time last year and I'm definitely in better shape than I was. I've said to people in the past, I reckon it makes about a second a lap minimum difference if the crowd gets into it. So yeah, that performance owes a lot to the crowd tonight.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
The 2019 Tasmanian yachting season has kicked off with a world-class fleet battling it out for King of the Derwent honours. Sydney Hobart overall winner Alive capping off a huge week, breezing over the finish line well ahead of the pack.
The first time in history, all 3 overall winners of the Sydney, Launceston and Melbourne to Hobart have competed, with Tasmanian yachts Alive, Whistler and Philosopher among the early pace setters.
Unique and something that you may not see again, and it's a credit to the sailors of Hobart and Tasmania.
Just days after lifting the Tattersall Cup, Alive was a cut above the smaller yachts as the 66-foot Keeler cruised away from the fleet. Launceston and Melbourne to Hobart line honours winners Fork in the Road and Oscana trying but failing to narrow the gap. With the wind playing hard to get, slow and steady was the order of the day, but the competitive spirit remained. Close shaves always part and parcel with the iconic race.
A prestigious race, and they'll be all trying out there. There's no doubt about that. They may be nursing a few hangovers, but they'll be well and truly gone when the gun goes.
Alive never in doubt for line honours, followed in second by Oscana. The race capping off one of the most memorable weeks of yacht racing the state has seen.
Good evening. The fine holiday break weather flowed over into today. Great for those that took extra annual leave. Launceston the state's high with 28, Hobart 25 today and Devonport 24. Temperatures generally close to average. Friendly Beaches 25, Ouse 24 and Grove 23. Low Head and St Helens 22 degrees. The Islands in the low 20s and Strawn 19. Low-level clouds streamed over western areas of the state today, but mainly clear skies were prevalent. The onshore flow produced low cloud over coastal Victoria and New South Wales. A frontal cloud band approaches southwest WA with patchy middle-level cloud over parts of the mainland. The monsoon trough extends through northern Queensland. Tomorrow a high over the Tasman Sea extends a ridge over Tasmania with a trough to the north. A cold front grazes Western Australia, pushing a trough to the north as well, while tropical cyclone Penny redevelops over the Coral Sea. East to northeast winds 5 to 15 knots before reaching 20 knots and also later 30 knots over the lower east. Swells to 4 metres in western and southern waters. A strong wind warning for waters between Wineglass Bay and South East Cape. Hobart tomorrow. Mostly sunny, fine, 12 overnight, 28 the top, 28 also for Cygnet, New Norfolk, hot and sunny and 31 degrees. Launceston fine and sunny, 28 the top, 23 for Devonport, OK for Campbelltown too, reaching 30 tomorrow. For Burnie, partly cloudy and 22, 26 the top for Strawn, sunny 2 for Smithton and 24, and fine conditions also in the east with cloudy areas clearing, 23 the top for St Helens, 24 for Swansea and Fingal 26. UV all above 11 and that's extreme. On Friday, an absolute scorcher for some, New Norfolk 38 degrees or 100.4 on the Fahrenheit scale. Swansea and Hobart 36, Cygnet and Fingal 35 and Launceston 32. But a cooling down will occur on Saturday with showers over the east of the state, and on Sunday mainly fine after showers clear the east coast, a possible late shower for the west. An early shower in Perth tomorrow, a sunny hot day for Adelaide, fine in Melbourne, partly cloudy in Sydney but a shower about Brisbane. Partly cloudy, but the temperatures are holding up in Hobart, 21 degrees, even warmer in the north, Launceston 24 and Devonport 23. It's that time of year for New Year's resolutions, of course, Rachel. For the decades now, I've never been able to keep mine, but I'm certainly going to keep this one. For the last week and a half, my New Year's resolution is not to eat ham again for, another 5 years.
The free ham. Thank you for that, Beth. That's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.